Well, hello, welcome to another boutique motivation video. If you missed the first two episodes of this series of mine, the first episode I shared with you what I have been currently going through as a boutique owner. I touch on my boutique rebrand and also some motivation for you. Episode 2, I dive into the fear of failure. So if you want to start your business, but you have that sense of it's holding you back because you're afraid of failing, or you're in your business and you can't move forward because you just have this feeling where my boutique's not going to do well, and you have that fear of failure. That's what we talk all about in episode 2. So you definitely want to watch those 2 videos. But today I'm excited to sit down with you and talk about the topic of dealing with overwhelm. And you can tell that when I even say the word overwhelm, I need to take a deep breath, because this is something that I have been really dealing with my entire boutique career. And I go through seasons where I'm so motivated, I'm inspired, I'm productive, I'm getting things done. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And then I get to a place where I am just so overwhelmed with, I feel like I'm so overworked, I'm stressed, and I just can't do it, right? And it's a whole mindset, right? And that's what we're gonna touch on. So I wanna share with you just some practical, just how I've been dealing with it all. And as a business owner, really it's inevitable, especially when you're just starting out and you're a solopreneur and you have all of these responsibilities, right? You play all of these roles in your business. You buy your products, you have to price your products, you have to take the photos, you have to edit the photos, you have to add it to your website, you have to design your website, you have to send out emails. Like the list just goes on and on and on. And that is part of entrepreneurship. So that's not something that we should be dwelling on or complaining about, because that is part of this business territory that we are in, and we have to get the work done. Like, you have to put in the work as a business owner, right? But with that said, yes, when we have all of those tasks, all of that weight is just on our shoulders, and all of it's on us, we will feel overwhelmed, right? And like I said, that's just inevitable in a sense. But over the years and over time, I have learned ways to be able to get back in it and keep going and stay positive and put myself back into the right mindset, and not let it hold me back from growing my business. There's so many different elements of overwhelm, really. I mean, I can go on and on and on, and I really don't know how long this video is going to be, because as you know, these motivation videos, they're a little bit different than my normal business videos here on my channel, because I don't have an outline. I don't feel stressed with the timeline, and I am just sitting down with you, sharing what I've been going through and just chatting with you. That's my goal here. So first, let's start off with trying to understand, like, where is the overwhelm coming from? Is it coming from, like, you have just all these to-dos on your list? Is it coming from, you don't know where to start? Or is it coming from, there's all this, like, everything is surrounded, all these things are surrounded by you, and you feel overwhelmed with your work environment, or you're dealing with your personal things, and it's coming into your business life. So you really want to figure out, where is this stemming from, really, and how can you tackle that? How can you help the situation, And whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, no matter what it is, I I take a moment. I take a moment, whether that's 10 minutes or a few hours, an entire day, I take a moment and I step back because, even if it's like, I just need to step away from the task, go outside, get fresh air. Like, honestly, getting fresh air and being in a new environment, and it's really about being outside and just having a different feeling, right? And again, getting that fresh air, it helps beyond what you may assume, right? What you may think. And just moving your body, getting up, moving your body, walking around, getting that energy level up again, because a lot of it is, again, your mindset, how you're feeling, how your body's feeling, what you're feeding your body, what you're feeding your mind. Like, a lot of it is your mindset. And, when I'm feeling that overwhelm, that I'm feeling overworked, take a moment, go outside and kind of like, let's just take some time right now and literally enjoy the flowers. So that's really my first tip to you. It's okay to take a moment. And at times, yes, it's that 10 minutes that I need, but other times I need to take the entire day off because maybe I was just go, and, now I'm moving on to the next big thing. It's like, just give yourself a moment and give yourself permission to do that. And another big thing for me is about enjoying the moment, enjoying your life right now, enjoying the process. And I've talked about this, I think, a few times already in several of my videos, where it's so important for you to remember to enjoy the journey, enjoy what you're doing right now, and not always like the end goal. Like, you are living your life right now, day to day. You're living your life. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey of growing your business and what you are doing right now. Because, at the end of the day, it's the end of the day. What if you don't have tomorrow? And that is like, we're getting deep there, but really you have to put that in perspective. So enjoy the day, enjoy the tiny moments. And what I do is I give, again, myself permission to enjoy other things that I love doing that may not necessarily be related to my business. So like, if I need to take my moment and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend a half an hour and I'm gonna watch an episode of The Office because I know my feeling, I know that, it makes me laugh out loud every single time, I'm gonna say that's okay. That is okay. Don't feel like you have to be busy 24/7 or you're not a true entrepreneur. You're not gonna be successful because, we live in this era of social media where, if someone you're looking up to, like, she's this CEO, she's this boss lady, this business owner, and she is always posting like, I'm so busy today, and she's waking up on early sunrise to working late at night, and it's like, oh, she must really be living the life because she's working on her business. Okay, I'm back. You may notice that at times I come in and out because my camera overheats. It's not used to me just going on and on and on, but I love my camera, so we're gonna go with it. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about how when you look up to an entrepreneur and you see them just hustle mode, just know that that's not how you have to be. Like, you need to be productive, yes. You need to be productive, but you need to structure your day and plan out your day so you can get things done so that you're not overworked, and that so you can enjoy the small things of life. But it's also important that you have to tell yourself, you have to be strict on yourself and have that discipline to know, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to spend, watch an episode of The Office, I'm not going to binge watch all day until the next day because I'm like, oh, I'm just giving myself this permission. You have to get back in it, because if you're not working on your business, you can't expect anybody else to do it for you. Yes, you know, down the line you can have a team and people can, you know, be helping you getting things done and completing tasks. But really, if you're not in your business, you can't expect anybody else to show up for your business. You need to show up for your business. So you have to remember, you have to get in a place where you can be like, I'm taking this moment, but I'm getting back in it. Now. Going back to your work environment. So I work from home. I work at the same desk every single day. I see the same things, you know, and I have my routine down. But what I find helpful is, one, looking around you. If my desk is a complete mess, my mind is going to be a complete mess. I am going to feel disorganized around me. That's how some of that overwhelm gets inside, is because of what I see, what I visually see, what I'm feeling around me. And if that means, okay, I'm gonna take 10 minutes, I need my 10 minutes, right? I'm gonna take my 10 minutes, let's clear off the desk and just put on what I absolutely need to be productive. So look at your environment around you. Now, and also distractions as well, which I gotta touch on distractions, because that is a killer. That is a killer to productivity. But also sometimes switching up your environment altogether, like I mentioned, you know, going outside. If that means, okay, for 2 hours, I'm gonna work on something on my computer. Maybe I'm gonna get I'm gonna edit my photos, so I don't need to be like, you know, I don't need to be in a certain place or have my certain computer. Like I can take my laptop, or and I can go to a coffee shop, or I can go outside like that. Take advantage of the fact that you can work from anywhere. You know, in some tasks of your business, you can work from anywhere. So take those moments and change up your environment. I find that also helps with that mindset. So going back to distraction. Distraction can also be a huge part of the overwhelm, because you're not focused, your mind is not focused on the task at hand. You're like, okay, 10 minutes, I'm gonna write this, and then I'm gonna look at my phone. I'm gonna scroll through Instagram. And now you're putting all the things that you see on your Instagram, who you're following, you're putting all of that in your mind, right? Are those inspirational things? Are those things where you're, you know, now off watching music videos, or now you're comparing yourself to somebody else that you just saw, so now you have some negative thoughts of comparison, you know, and then a whole hour goes by because you're not focused on the task at hand. So, you know, your phone. What I like to do is I put my phone on do not disturb. Literally do not disturb. I don't get any messages in. I don't get messages like notifications on Instagram. I try not to check my email at a certain point, like after, and like in the later afternoon when I know I'm like winding down. I try not to check my email. This is something I'm still working on. So that's one little tip there. But you see how there's so many things around you where you get distracted and it can feel overwhelming. Now let's touch on feeling overwhelmed because of all the tasks and the responsibility that you have as a solopreneur and as a business owner. So with all of these tasks, you know, your long to-do list, what I find the most helpful is to remember to just take it one step at a time. You are the only one that's in control of your timeline or your deadline, which there should never be a deadline to achieve your goal. Otherwise, you may not ever achieve your goal because you may give up halfway there because you feel like you're not going to hit your deadline to achieve that goal. So you're in control of that. And try to remember, this is one quote, years ago I saw this and it stuck with me. I don't know where I got this from, or maybe I came up with this in my mind, and that is, it's okay to grow slow. It's okay to grow slow. So take that pressure off right now and remind yourself, take it one step at a time. So look at one task at hand. what I like to do is, I use 2 different planners. I've talked about Trello as a task management platform that I use to have like a hard copy of my projects that I'm working on, all of my day-to-day tasks. It's like my online calendar. And there are so many different, platforms that you can use. Just use what you enjoy, what works for you. And oh my gosh, I have another point on that. But so I have my calendar, right? And then I have my physical calendar, just a small little calendar so I can write it down again for that day when I'm working on. But what is key here is to plan it out. Just plan out your month. And I've tried different, I've planned out my quarter, I've planned out my month, I've just planned out my week, I planned out my year. But what I found that has worked best for me is just looking at it as a whole, whatever your goal is, your big main goal, your project you're working on, looking at it as a whole and then breaking it down into little categories, sections, and then looking at your month. What can I realistically get done in this month that's gonna help me move forward in this goal? So just focus on the tasks that is gonna help you move forward for this goal that I have for this month. So for instance, if you want to retake all of your photos on your website, your photos, you can put some better quality photos out there, and that's your task because you have new inventory that's coming in for the next season. So that's your goal, right? So instead of, okay, well, today I'm going to do some research on a task management platform, and because I want to change the one I'm using, or maybe I'm going to look into a new website designer, so I'm going to spend my time doing that. But now you're going off into too many different directions, right? Come back and think about this main goal that's going to get you closer to that end goal. So once you finish this goal, then yeah, you can move on to, maybe you do want to update your website, but just focus on one thing at a time. So if you got your goal of adding your product photos on your website, so what do you need to do? Plan it out. Okay, this week I need to take my photos. So I'm gonna pick a day that I can focus that entire day on product photos. Okay, so I'm blocked out that day. That's when I'm focusing, because a lot of it is, I find myself the most overwhelmed when I don't know where to begin my day. Like, I start my day and I look around, I look at my cat, like, there's so much that I have to do, but what am I gonna do today? Until I actually put it down onto paper or schedule it in, it's not going to happen. I feel like I'm going to do like more proper videos maybe on a few of these different topics, but right now, just chatting with you. Right now I'm just chatting. So just schedule out your day, schedule out your month, schedule out your week, and then schedule out your day. That will absolutely help with your overwhelm. And it's just having a system, having a process, having a day-to-day process, which reminds me about having routines throughout the day. Have you ever heard of the term, The Power of Habit, the book, The Power of Habit? And everybody, you may hear a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful people, business owners have this routine every single day, whether it's a morning routine, whether it's, a night routine, or, just starting your day off with a routine that will help you get in the routine of having a system, having a plan in place, and getting things done productively, so that okay, at 6 o'clock, that's when my day ends. So then I'm gonna shut everything off, and I'm gonna focus on my family life, because you do need a break. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to take a moment. So your evening time can be that moment, so that you're not overworking yourself throughout the day. So yes, oh my goodness, there's so many points here that I wanted to share with you. And again, last week, I was going through a season, or I was going through a week of feeling this overwhelm. And again, I go through these stages, and this is me taking my own advice and just sitting down, taking an hour, planning out my day, it just feels so much better. That's why I'm filming this video for you, because I put it on my calendar and I sat down and I got it done. And I know at the end of this, I'm going to be proud of myself, because I know my end goal of helping you. And yes, so, okay. There's a few other things that I wanted to touch on with Overwhelm, productivity, and there's so much that I, want to just help you with. And again, I after this video, I'm going to write down some ideas, but let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you in these boutique motivation videos. I want to hear what you're going through. When I hear your stories, I always appreciate you opening up. I read your stories. I read your comments. I may not be able to comment on every single comment that I ever existed on all of my videos, but just know that I appreciate you, and I appreciate you hanging out with me and chatting with me in a different way. I'm always the one with the step-by-step how-to videos, tutorials, but I also want to just have conversations with you and obviously give you some motivation along the way. Like, that makes me happy. So thank you so much again for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.